everyone, I'm Kana Taku. On March 20th, 2021, we learned that international fans are not allowed to travel to Japan to support the Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Although the Olympics were cancelled a few times during World War II, this is the first time that the Games have been rescheduled. This postponement is creating enormous stress for those who have devoted their lives to prepare for it, especially athletes themselves. Because of my research interest, I was following a lot of news to see how this postponement affects athletes, coaches, and fans when the event that was believed to be certain to happen is no longer guaranteed. While I've been anxious about the Olympic and the Paralympic Games in Japan, big games have already started happening in the United States. I've watched Grand Slam tennis, Major League playoffs, the Super Bowl, and March Madness. Actually, not yet. But all of these games use a tournament method with one winning team. Yeah, just one. It is sort of a culturally specific but cruel determination where teams that have won many games up to the championship are still considered the losers if they don't win the championship. That is tough. I cannot help but wondering then about the cultural shift in expectations when Olympic and the Paralympic Games give 3 medals, gold, silver, and bronze, instead of recognizing 2 categories, the champions versus the quote-unquote losers. This brings me a Japanese culture-specific sports game called Hakone Ekiden. I'm a big fan and I go home to watch it every year, except last year. It is a marathon race for college students from 20 universities and one composite team from various universities. And all 21 runners start in Tokyo on January 2nd and run all the way up to Hakone City. That's like near Mount Fuji. And then on the following day, they come back to Tokyo. It's about 67 miles one way, like from Detroit to Flint and they come back to Detroit. Each team has 10 runners, so they do a relay marathon. 5 runners from Tokyo to Hakone, and then an additional 5 runners make it back to Tokyo on the following day. The current record is 10 hours and 57 minutes as a total of 2 days. It has a long history and millions of people watch it in Japan. It is a huge event. Well, one could imagine the team who got to the final goal line first would be the happiest. And then the team who got there second will be the next happiest. But time and again, that's wrong. I watch this game every year, and among 21 runners, the second happiest runner is almost always the 10th place runner. This is due to the top 10 teams being guaranteed a spot in the next year's competition. The sports commentators are also very invested in which teams will make it to the next year's game. They actually call 10th place heaven and the 11th place hell. And the people continue to watch the race until we know which team will make it to the top 10. In any photos from the Hakone Ekiden, you can see each runner cross the finish line tape, and in first and 10th place, both runners have their arms up and open wide, which is a stand of pride and victory. However, second and 11th place have their arms down in a defeated posture. We can see this because in Hakone Ekiden, they will keep using the same white and gold tape for each runner to pass through as a finish line. This is a very different perspective from American-based marathons, where only the winner is able to break through the tape at the end, and not for the second, certainly not for the 10th, right? Well, we find the same phenomenon in Olympic and Paralympic Games. Obviously, a gold medalist is super happy, but the next happiest athlete is usually the bronze medalist rather than the silver. Psychologists explain this phenomenon using downward versus upward comparisons. Bronze medalists are more likely to use downward comparisons and feel happy with at least having earned a medal as compared to the 4th place. while silver medalists use upward comparisons and feel somewhat disappointed that they were so close to winning the gold but didn't make it. The same comparison happens with Hakone runners in 10th place who are usually really happy to still be in the competition for next year than the second place runner who didn't quite win. But objectively speaking, those in the second place are better performers and yet sadly less satisfied with their outcomes than those in 10th place. And this is pretty unique compared to major sport tournaments within the United States, who focus most of the time only on the top 2 teams. But downward and upward internal comparisons are not the only reason for being satisfied or dissatisfied after a big tournament. There are also external pressures, such as high expectations from the media based on past records. For example, based on previous performances, silver medalists may have set the bar higher than bronze medalists. And these expectations may prime them for upward comparisons, not necessarily with the gold medalist, but within themselves, and may become more disappointed if they couldn't achieve it. Well, I've learned all of this by reading a study conducted by Dr. William Hedgecock and his colleagues. They actually confirmed this through comparing pictures of the track and field medalists from the Summer Olympic Games between 2000 and 2016. When analyzing each of the cropped photos by computer software, they confirmed that facial expressions of Olympic medalists were in fact influenced by these 2 types of thinking. Category-based counterfactual thinking, so that's the gold, silver, bronze categories, and expectation-based counterfactual thinking. It kind of reminds me of the old English saying, comparison is the thief of joy, but could be a source of joy too. But clearly, our emotions and ways of thinking are determined by the relative ranking rather than the absolute performance. We are more easily satisfied when we are at the better place rather than being at the good place, because we rely on comparisons rather than the absolute. That's also what I learned by studying PTG, or post-traumatic growth. I know many researchers believe a longitudinal research is absolutely necessary to assess PTG, but to me, it's really not about the absolute level of awareness or compassion that the people have at each time point, but rather how they have shifted as a result of a challenge and how people view and interpret that changes. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.